Hey YouTube, Sam here. Well, I'm working on my lamp here, and this would also apply to these type of lamps, or just about any lamp you want to put together. I got this free at a garage sale, or maybe paid $1 for it. I don't know. You can get these cheap, really cheap, and a lot of times this piece in here is just flopping around. That's why they're getting rid of it for usually free. Now I got another one up there. And I like them. You can put them on the wall and I can look at stuff in my toolbox. Mostly I use it for my drill press over there, but I can move it around from side to side of my drill press to get the light just where I want it. And I just like them. They're very handy and you can usually find them cheap. So anyhow, I figured I'd bring you along for the fix here. This right here, starting out, couple bucks at your local home store. I can't even remember which one I got this at. I got a couple of them in a box that for this occasion here. So we'll go along and I'll just kind of show you how I'm going to fix this, and it might save you $1 or $2 here down there. Is, hopefully you can see this right here, the cord, and you're going to want to push that up and bring it over here and pull that. Get yourself some slack. And then you're going to go up to this area, pull that slack out, and that should allow this to come out. Now usually you're actually going to have something right here that's holding this cord in, which is a real pain in the butt to get out. I might actually have a couple of these type of things. Yep. It's going to look at something probably like this with the cord going through it, and it'll be jammed in this hole. I actually have a couple of spares of these from other lamps I've worked on. So anyhow, I may even put that one back in there. It'll fit. Now that gives you plenty of cordage here, and as you can see, either I or somebody else has taken and taped this up just to kind of help keep the sparks from flying, so to speak, probably. This is a pretty old one because this is actually porcelain. And so it's been around a day or two back in when they used to make things not out of plastic. Everything doesn't necessarily mean it's better, but I would say it probably would have lasted or did last longer than that one will in this lamp. And at some point it had this switch, and I actually remember turning that on, and I just plugged it and unplugged it. Will be, if that's even still there, which a lot of them are broken out, getting that undone. And like I said, it'll look kind of like that in there, and the cord will be going through it. There's usually a place you can get a screwdriver in there. Get a screwdriver in there and pop this little piece out here, and then this whole thing will pop out of the hole, and you can get your wires out. Now this, at one point, probably had something like this on top of it, a screw with a keeper, and it stuck up through here and held it, which is how this one's going to go. But it no longer has it, so we're just going to shove that out and shove the wire through the hole and expose the wires. Now these are soldered on, so we're going to take our clippers and clip them and toss that in my scrap pile here. Now I need to strip these, so I got to grab my wire strippers. I actually don't have them here right now. And before I do that, I'll actually pull that out of there. Now everything's pretty much where it needs to be. I'm going to strip the wires up here. You know what, these are looking pretty black, so I'm just going to go ahead and find some fresh wire here. Now really, you could restring this with another wire if you needed to, but it would be kind of a pain in the rear. So I'm not doing that. I'm just going to reuse what I have here, and usually you can get some pretty clean stuff further up if you're having problems with it being either corroded with, or usually it's kind of burnt or black. And then I'm going to test this This should stick up through here. But as I was kind of wondering, we got a round peg trying to go in a square hole. So I'm gonna have to drill this out. Then I'll put that through there and it should hold on. Test it out, it works. I did have to kind of grind a little bit off of the edge of that so it wasn't pokey. Now, on this one, you got a white screw and you got a brass screw, or what appears to be brass colored screw. On these, it doesn't really matter which one goes where. It might, because you do have your probably bigger pin and smaller pin here, but honestly, it'll work either way. This is where I say, if you do anything I do and you hurt yourself, I'm not responsible. If you don't like the way I'm doing it, don't do it. I'm going to go ahead and put these even bigger. All you could do is actually go get some like eye crimps or something like that. The ones that got the eyelets in them. I'm just going to twist these good and wrap them around here. Know which was neutral and which was power. You would want your neutral to go on the brass and your power to go on, or sorry, your neutral to go on the white and the power to go on the brass. Alright, yet again, dangerous. You're playing with live wires here. I don't have any of my LED bulbs. It's this old fluorescent that I believe still works. So I'm going to test it with that right now. It's not on right this second. Ta-da! I got a switch lamp. I'm going to go ahead and unplug that before I go any further. Still being sure not to touch any wires, because although with this you probably wouldn't have any problem, but sometimes you can have residual power in things. And we'll pull this on through. Now this has like an adjustment down here, but I'm just going to put it all the way up towards the edge here and tighten it up. I'm really not going for looks here, I'm going more for function. Yet again, I might have between $3 and $5 in this, and that'll be a very useful light for me anyway. I really do like these kind of lights. And that's nice and sturdy in there. Now we can start pulling the wires back through here. Don't yank it out of here. I'm gonna see, I think this might actually work on here, so I might actually, maybe, if I can figure out how to get it back in. I think this cord is bigger than the one that this came in, so that's not going to work. But had you been able to get yours off or on, you'd be able to have that there. So I'm going to take that. I'm actually going to put probably a wire tie or something right here, just so it can't pull through. I might even loosen this up. In fact, I'm going to do that. Okay, now I got this back out of here, and I'm going to take and go a few inches above it here, and I'm going to put this wire tie around it. Basically what this will hopefully do, I'll probably put a couple on here, and fairly snug. And then I'll kind of go to the other side, put another one, so it's on the opposite side of it. And again, fairly snug. And I left, a couple inches in here, so this will be up in here. And basically what I'll do, once it hits that hole right there, if this cord gets pulled for some reason, it won't yank the wires out of here. It's just kind of that's all this does, is just safety feature to keep the wires from yanking out. So it'll hit up against here and it won't pull any further out. Clip these off. hopefully I got it. That'll be big enough. If not, I can throw a couple more on. But yeah, see, that's, yeah, it might pull through there if I pulled hard enough. But quite honestly, it was difficult to get back in there. By the time I get this up in here and screwed up in here, it should all hold just fine. If I have any problems, I can always throw some more on, but that'll give it plenty of yank proofness, I guess. Get that nice and snug. I might even take this and I'm using an inappropriate tool for this, but it'll work. There we go, nice and snug. Now we'll pull the stuff out of it. Make sure you have plenty of room for these to just, you know, turn, twist. See, when I pulled on that, that kept that from coming any further. I'll give it a little bit more. So I like to have lots of movement in this area. So take this, pull this slack back out here, and there we go. Now drill a hole in a 2x4, mount that in there, and we'll have a good, nice lamp I can put anywhere I want. And since I don't exactly know where I'm putting this right now, I'm going to call it good. You'll probably see it later on in some videos if you watch for it. So, this is Sam, Jack of all, master of none. You all have a good one.